Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the life path forecast for June 2023. The life path forecasts are different from the personal month forecast, so make sure that you check the calculations to make sure you've got the right ones before you listen. Now, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where I'll take a deeper dive into your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I'd love to work with you. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at each individual life path number for June 2023. Life path number 1. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you for the month of June, and you all got crab energy. This is interesting. So there is something significant that is coming up around the moon cycles. So pay attention this month to the new moon and the full moon, and you may want to listen to your personal month forecast when that comes out later this month to sort of hear more about those moon cycles and what to expect. But there's something coming up around the moon cycle or moon cycles that could be significant for you. Now, with crab energy, there's also something here about vigilance or being hyper vigilant about your surroundings, about the people that you're interacting with, about people who are coming in and out of your life at this, during this period. Not to be fearful or mistrusting of these people, but just to be vigilant, just to be aware, as well as the circumstances. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is this could be a month where opportunities present themselves that are more testing and that are not truly aligned with the direction that you want to be moving into. But they can look pretty with the packaging. And so you may get some kind of offer, some kind of enticing, again, opportunity that sort of checks a lot of the boxes. But if you go into the core of it, if you look at it more deeply, it's all show. There's not a lot of depth actually to it, and it's not really aligned with where you want to be going. And sometimes the universe will throw things our way like this to, again, keep us on track, but to test us to make sure that we're awake, that we are, vigilant, that we're making sure that we're making choices that feel very much aligned with the direction that we want to be moving into and that feels the most aligned for our soul. So again, not saying that this is a month for deception or that there's going to be people actively trying to deceive you, but it does feel like this energy of sort of like things being presented to you and you're being asked to sit with it or dig a little bit deeper before you say yes, okay? There's also something with crab energy about circumvention. So there may be some things that you have to move around, right? Instead of trying to move through them, move around them. And it's not about avoidance. It's more about like seeing what's for you, what's not for you, and just not even expending your energy into the things that don't make sense for you, right? Or that just don't feel aligned. So just kind of, again, moving around it, right? You're aware of it, you see it, you acknowledge it, but you just don't even invest into it or participate. You just move around it. This month is for you all going to be a month of potential shifts and changes in directions and reroutes, right? Redirects. And so I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but with crab energy coming through, that totally makes sense with the circumvention, because again, this is not going to be a month for necessarily making strong life-altering commitments unless you absolutely have to, because there is a lot of potential for shifts and change and awakenings and awareness, right? But there's definitely this call for being, again, hypervigilant and being very aware of your surroundings, of what presents itself to you, what's for you, what isn't for you, what feels like it's for you, and upon further investigation, truly feels aligned and what doesn't, right? And so how can you best use your energy this month is really what's sort of coming through with crab energy. There's also this energy for sort of taking the time alone that you need to sort of really get in touch with what you want and what that looks like and planning. But again, taking time for self-soothing, for self-reflection and contemplation. That's really going to come in this month as well. And making sure that you're coming back to center internally, because it can feel like there are some chaotic themes in the external with the energy that you all are working with this month, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. There's also this energy with crab energy about self-sufficiency. So you may see some things come in for you. And again, I would say, just make sure you sort of read the fine print, investigate a little bit further, just to make sure that it feels aligned and it's something that you want to entertain or potentially explore and commit to. But there is the possibility for sort of sustained self-sufficiency. So you may see opportunities, whether it's through your own work, your own business, your own endeavors, or through working for someone or a partner and their experience, bringing in this energy of like self-sufficiency. So sort of like if you're floating in the river or floating in the ocean, all of a sudden, this massive turtle comes along and you're able to climb on top of it, right? And so you have like this sense of security and self-sufficiency, sort of. I guess that would be like co-sufficiency. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. It's like there is like a life raft coming, or a life raft available for you this month, right? And so by utilizing it and receiving that support or whatever it is, however it shows up, there's an opportunity for that to grow into self-sufficiency in some way. Okay. So interesting energy is coming through with crab energy, but if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Okay. So the month of June for you all, you're working with 5 energy. And so again, 5 energy is all about change, shifts, redirection, seeing things more clearly, and then having to make decisions based on that clarity, right? So once we see something, we can't unsee it, right? It might be uncomfortable. We may not want to make changes or adjustments because of that awareness. But it's like, if you don't, then you're kind of going against yourself, right? So it's very possible that there could be like lightning bolt, aha moments, redirects, sort of shifts in your environment that move you at an accelerated pace towards where it is your soul wants to be, right? So, but that can feel uncomfortable, that can feel disorienting, especially if you try to have too much control over the environment or the situation, because 5 energy is sort of non-negotiable energy in a way. It's going to come in and shift. And it's not going to ask you, are you comfortable with this? It's going to say, this is where we want to go. I'm here to move you much more quickly, right? So it like accelerates the timeline, so to speak. But if you kind of move with it and sort of, again, you're sort of hyper aware and you like just move with the energy where it's trying to take you without second guessing yourself, without fighting it, without trying to control it, I think you will find that where it sort of drops you, and this is a shorter cycle, right? It's a month long. So it's not potentially, I mean, it can be life altering, but it's probably not going to be like one of those, major life transformations that you would see within a 12-month period, but it could be. The more that you can kind of go with the flow, surrender, see where this energy sort of lands you, and then make decisions from that space. And I would even say, if you can kind of hold off making major commitments or major life-altering decisions this month and wait until next month, I think that's probably going to serve you better, only because, again, there can be so many shifts with 5 energy that you may think you have everything that you need to know about the situation, and then there's a shift, and then it like totally changes gears. So just be aware of that. If life happens and you have to make a major decision, go for it. You trust yourself. Go with what you feel. Don't, let it hinge on numerology or astrology. You know what you want in this lifetime, whether you feel like you do or not. So follow that. But just don't be surprised if there's some shifts, some redirections, some aha moments, some major sort of clarity moments that come in, that you're asked to do something with, right? Or to make some adjustments with. And this can be across the board, right? With any aspect or area of life, because it's a general reading. But big potential changes coming in this month could also be opportunities for travel this month for you all. So definitely take that up if you feel called to. You could sort of expand your mind, your business, your whatever. This is an expansive type energy. And it does have the potential to, upon that expansion, sort of bring in big rewards as well. So make sure you're not being overly restrictive this month. Make sure that you are kind of going with the flow, surrendering and being adaptive, and you'll get the most out of this energy. So big month potentially for you all. But you're ones. I'm not surprised. So I hope it's a great month for you all. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.